Guess what? Real Mid Academy kicks off in River State. Yes, indeed. Absolutely so. And it's been, I think it's one of the projects of the River State government, or I think I prefer to use the word initiatives of the River State government, that the government, or maybe more precisely the governor, is somewhat very fond of, maybe even proud of, might be an appropriate term to use. There's been some development as far as that situation is concerned. Story here cut to the Punch newspaper. You can find similar versions in other dailies as well. Rivers begins admission into Madrid Academy. Now, the Rivers State Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Real Madrid Football Academy, Rivers State, on Monday, kicked off selection process for admission into the Real Madrid Football Academy in Port Harcourt. Now, the process began with an aptitude test held at the premises of Model Girls Secondary School, Rumukuta, in the state's capital. This was contained in a statement issued by the media aide to Professor Kani Beku, State Commissioner for Education. Statement reads, supervised by the State Commissioner for Education, Professor Kani Beku, and the essay on Real Madrid Football Academy, River State, Mr. Christopher Green. The exercise was held under strict compliance with all COVID-19 health protocols. Candidates were required to wear nose masks and to ensure physical and social distancing. 24 classrooms and 120 sitting capacity hall was used for the test. Well, what exactly is the plan for the Real Madrid Academy? What is the vision of the Real Madrid Academy? What processes are in place to ensure that that vision is actualized? We're discussing these and other related matters in the 4 o'clock hour. I'll be joined by the special advisor on Real Madrid Football Academy to the River State Governor. Christopher Green will be my guest for the conversation in the 4 o'clock hour. He'll be joining me via phone. I'll take us to 5. At 5, we've got the news updates coming up, and then we delve into some of the matter. Arts appears to be taking center stage in River State. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, if you will, you might say that today's edition of Hard Facts is the River State edition, or something like that, I suppose. Anyways, yeah, so besides football, some attention is being given to the arts as well in River State. And the River State Tourism Development Agency released a statement lately, and some of it goes, it is our pleasure to announce that the above stated competition, that's a DTCM, RSTDA Graffiti Visual Arts Painting Competition. So it is our pleasure to announce that the above stated competition, which was open for contest amongst the indigents from the 23 local government areas of River State, was keenly contested by those who entered for it and aligned themselves to the terms and conditions as stated by the organizers. The submitted entries all spoke to the enormity of the creative talent, strength and capacity of the youth and upwardly mobile in River State. Indeed, this keenly contested competition, produced 3 outstanding works of art from the judgment of the panel of adjudicators that considered the submitted entries in Dubai. The artworks were both original and unique in its portrayal. The visual artists whose works were finally selected are Dumbro Debe, Oscar Taribo Tamgab, Samuel Nwankwo as well. And apparently they've got some prizes to go with this, but the entire competition, because I gather that there are some other what's the word I'm looking for right now? Is it segment or categories? That's the word. There's some other categories as well. Winners are still to be decided as regards those categories. But what exactly is the plan for this as well? Is this just a one-off flash in the pan situation, or is there something more cogent? Is there something sustainable in the works as far as encouraging the arts and promoting the arts in River State, especially giving opportunities to upcoming creative talent here in River State? We'll be discussing that in the 5 o'clock hour. I'll be joined by Yibo Koko, his DG, CEO, River State Tourism Development Agency, RSTD8, for that conversation in the 5 o'clock hour after the news update. Headlines 5:30, major news at 6. And open season is up after that. If you miss out on any matter discussed in the show, I'll take your thoughts on those. till about 7 when we wrap it up today. So that describes the show today. Any changes you will find out. Simply stay tuned. And traditionally, we kick things off with some side comments at this time. A reminder, random stories and thoughts of mine on recent happenings mostly, but not up for discussion at this time until possibly much later on, very likely during the open season segment. Let's see. So, starting things off on this note, you may very well be aware of this. Yesterday, as with many other days, was a great day. Well, yesterday was great for a number of reasons, specifically because of the Arsenal greatness. You can't, I mean, love it or hate it, you cannot deny it. The Arsenal greatness. And the Arsenal greatness was on display once again yesterday as it was, in the English Premier League at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal at home to Newcastle United. Yeah, and it was already, I have a message here via WhatsApp saying, good day, Dial. No Arsenal moment today. Please give us Arsenal moment. Very soon someone's going to tell me the people don't ask for it, but the people do ask for it. The people are demanding it, and once the people demand it, you have to give it to them. All right, so here's the Arsenal moment in celebration of the beauty, because Arsenal has to be celebrated, really. So anyways, in case you missed the game yesterday, the first half ended goalless, and then second half Arsenal unleashed the dragon. It was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the 50th minute who scored a Premier League goal. Hasn't scored a Premier League goal in quite a while, actually. Last game against Newcastle, he did score, but that was an FA Cup game. So it was quite fantastic. A Thomas Partey assist. It was a Partey after Partey, really. And in the 60th minute, 10 minutes afterwards, Nigerian-born Bukayo Saka, assisted by Emil Smith-Roy, made it 2. In the 77th minute, it was Captain Fantastic once again, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Courtesy a Cedric Suarez assist, he made it 3 for Arsenal, and that's how the game ended. And that's why the world is asking for the Arsenal moment right now. So enjoy it. Yep, everybody's talking about it. You can't stop talking about Arsenal, especially when they're in the blistering kind of form that Arsenal is in at the moment. A run of 6 games unbeaten, 5 straight games not conceding a single goal. Remarkable indeed. But there's some player-hated messages here via WhatsApp, like this one. That nobody should be proud to ask for Arsenal moment. 11th on the log, that's about Michael Newmont. Well, you may feel that way, but you can't stop it. You can't stop how the people feel. You can't take it away from the people. Really, sometimes you can't help it. It was like when Jesus was going to, was it Jerusalem? And he said to the folks, if the people do not shout Hosanna, the stones are going to shout. And that's how it is. I mean, you just have to. Whilst the Michael fellow is player hating, there's a message here, by the way. All hail Arsenal, we demand for Arsenal moment, and here we have it. That's some chooks. When the people ask for it, give it to them. Alright, so that's it. Other stuff that caught my attention earlier today. Let's see. River State Commission of Inquiry on Police Brutality has entertained over 100 petitions so far out of the 108 petitions received from petitioners. One of the petitioners, Mountain Torde, told the Commission on Monday that he was arrested and brutalized by the police while serving as a member of the Kana Legislative Assembly under order of the former Kana Council Chairman Kingsley Legbosi in 2005. Now, he told the Commission that he made an accommodation, and there's several other petitions as well. And the reason I brought this up is just to remind everyone of this very significant situation that's still going on, and we're all waiting for the end of the inquiry session by the commissions, not just in Rivers State but across the country. We're waiting for the report, and very, very important as well, waiting to see what the federal government is going to do about this situation. Definitely waiting to see that one. And a police officer in front of Government House, Port Harcourt, fired gunshots in the air to disperse members of the River State Covid-19 task force who were protesting non-payment of 8-month salary arrears. Our correspondent reports that the policeman, despite pleas from the protesters, said he got the authority from a state police command to disperse them. I think that there's a longer version of this story somewhere. I have a longer version here. Someone did say something, I think. Now, the protesters said they are stranded and have not been able to take care of their families. Let's hear what these protesters had to say about their situation at 1821. Okay, here we are.
A whole government has shooting gun. That policeman should be singled out and then be punished for shooting gun in the front of government house over peaceful protesters who are asking for their salary, who are not being paid. The governor has to address this matter. And we are going to by the commissioner of police that he should shoot us gun. We want to tell governor that if that is out to rule the state, he should carry on. He should come and take inside the car. We don't even want it again. The governor, please, should come and address this issue. We are stranded. We are not having money. You have not been paying us for over 8 months now. We have been working. I was working in Kana border, and now we came to demand for our salary. They shot at us. And I don't like it. The government should pay us our money because I am a student. I want to go for service. Yes, I want to use that money.
All right. A couple of issues here. The first one, police commissioner, CP Joseph Mikan, aka the meticulous one. What's going on? One of your boys said that he got. Where's that story here somewhere? That he got reportedly, allegedly, supposedly got authority from the state police command to disperse protesters, and of course he believed that the way he can go about doing that is by using his firearm. CP Joseph Mikan, when are your boys going to know that? It's a very, very serious thing for a police officer to discharge his firearm. It's a very serious thing. I mean, there must be protocols for this. There must be conditions, situations, scenarios when a policeman can use his firearm, can use his sidearm. And I'm not sure that people protesting in front of Government House demanding that salaries, or I don't know, salaries being owed them be paid. I don't think that poses a national threat. That poses a threat to His Excellency the Governor. I don't think that poses a threat to anyone. And if it did, even if it did pose some kind of a threat, the presence of those people organizing our protest, I think there are other ways, other effective ways that the threat could have been neutralized, or those who gathered the protesters could have been dispersed if it was deemed that they posed some kind of a threat. They could have been dispersed without anyone having to discharge a firearm. All right, so CPM, you can please talk to your boys. They are your boys. They are not any other person's boys. They are definitely your men. And then to the outcry of the protesters themselves, who say they've not been paid. They've been owed, I think, 8 months. Your Excellency, do look into this. It's a very, very serious matter. I don't know if this one's collected. I don't know if they collected. You know, remember that His Excellency told us during the lockdown that if you are sent to the border, you too will collect. You know, because the narrative at that time was that the police were sabotaging the state by collecting bribes and allowing persons who were not supposed to come in or out of the state, allowing them to do so. The governor complained about it, but when they got to the border, I simply told everyone that if you are there also, will you not collect? So, by the way, I should ask the task force, the Rivers State COVID-19 task force members who are being owed, allegedly who are being owed 8 months salary arrears now. Did you guys not collect while you were there? I think it's a valid question. And I'm not suggesting that your salaries should not be paid to you. I mean, if you entered into an agreement with government, the government should honor its side of that bargain. But I'm just curious, that's all. This is just me being curious. I can't help it, you know. Didn't you guys collect while you were there? You know, and after all, His Excellency suggested very strongly that he should collect. So I'm just thinking, you know, just thinking. So, by the way, Your Excellency, maybe they collected, maybe they didn't collect, but if they're being owed 8 months' salaries, Your Excellency, they should be paid, and you know, you should pay them basically. Was there anything else in particular that caught my attention today? I'm not sure that there was actually, so I think I'll have to move on now. But finally, Your Excellency, sir, if it pleases you, I think I'm becoming a bit annoying for some people these days. Lots of folks are getting very upset, and that's understandable, by the way. That's very understandable. But Your Excellency, sir, if you will, in my capacity as your self-appointed senior special advisor, reminding you of critical matters. Quite a few critical matters still need attending to. The subject matter of the implementation of the new national minimum wage in Rivers State. Rivers State workers are still waiting. They are still waiting. I'm not sure what they're waiting for really, but they are waiting nonetheless for the implementation of this. Maybe they're waiting for a miracle to happen, but they're waiting. And I guess patience is a virtue, really, I suppose. So they're waiting, Your Excellency. And also pensioners, retirees, they're also waiting. You know, they're waiting also. For pensions and gratuities to be paid, they're also waiting. They're still waiting. Also, everybody is waiting as well to see what's going to happen with education in Rivers State. The condition of a lot of our schools can best be described as moribund. We have lots of our schools that don't have teachers, or that have one teacher or two teachers. We have schools that don't have conducive teaching learning environment. Seems like we're describing Disney World when we look at those schools, you know. So or sounds like we're describing the presidential hotel, that is, you know. So they need proper classrooms. They need furniture. They need, you know, they need toilets. They need teachers, you know. But it's quite amazing that we're talking about schools and we're saying they need teachers. But well, remarkably, it is the case. So they need teachers. Let's spend some of that 78 billion in this direction. We're going to be better off for it eventually. We'll be better off for it eventually. The knowledge that the children will acquire from good education, no one can take it away from them. Nobody can take it away from them. Bridges and flyovers can be demolished. because of new planning, because of new ideas, for whatever reason. Bridges, flyovers, roads can be demolished, can be rebuilt, or even completely discarded. But knowledge gained cannot be taken away. And Rivers State will be better off for it in a short and especially long run. So that's it for now. I go for a break, and when I return, today's round comes up. Do please stay with us.
What we do goes beyond bringing you the news. We give you a chance to talk about it. Your opinion, your voice.
This is 92.3 Nigeria Info, Port Harcourt.
Your number one news, talk, and sports radio station.
Are you running late and can't make it down to our Room OC office to book your commercials? Don't worry, because you can take advantage of our marketing office inside Port Harcourt to book your commercials. It is located at Shop 9 Mediatrix of All Graces Plaza, opposite FIRS Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. You can also call our sales rep on 0817 001 8162. That's 0817 001 8162.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Diode.
Hello, welcome back. Good afternoon to you once again. I'm Dio. It is Hard Facts on Nigeria Info. I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something on my mind. I'll be expressing some thoughts on it, and you're welcome to express your thoughts and mine all the way till 4 p.m. Covid-19. The world is not done with it yet. Or more like COVID-19 is not done with us yet. You know, we thought that it was going away at some point, that would finally beaten it, but then came the second wave. And the second wave literally is crossing through the entire world. Just like the first wave of COVID-19, I do not think that there is any part of the world that spared from the menace of the second wave of COVID-19. Now, the good news with some other parts of the world, advanced societies especially, in Europe, in the US, and even parts of Asia also, they've got vaccines. They've got vaccines. The vaccines are being administered in large numbers. Millions of those, tens of millions of doses have been administered in Europe, in the US, and in Asia as well, and tens more to be administered in the coming weeks and coming months, whilst third world countries like Nigeria are still on the list and waiting and praying to God that something is going to happen. Sure. Anyways, so at least that's good news. That's good news. So we know that it might take a while, but inevitably, eventually, the vaccines will come to Africa, will come to Nigeria as well. And after maybe after honorables and excellencies get it, the masses, the ordinary Nigerians, will now get it as well. But man, it might take a while, but it will come eventually. However, even in the most advanced countries of the world, in the richest countries of the world, even those who've got access to the vaccines right now, good access, I suppose, even they are still dealing with the effects of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. They're still very much dealing with that. And so even in those countries, once again, and I'm very specific about this, in those countries where, in the really rich countries, the standard of living is, it's not comparable. We don't compare in anything really. The rich, they got the money, they got the economy. Folks are living way better than we are over here. Even they are being extremely careful with how they go about, their lives because of the COVID-19 pandemic, because of the second wave. They're taking extra measures. We have lockdowns in place in some of these countries. These are countries that are really rich, by the way. And before you start beefing me right now, I'm not advocating a lockdown in Nigeria, even though if it is required, there's not much anyone can do about that. But maybe we're not there yet, maybe. But the point is, even in those countries that have better infrastructure, they've got the vaccines, they are still taking precautionary steps. They are still taking measures to ensure that the people are protected. And some of these steps are steps that even anger the citizens over there. But government sometimes might have to anger the people in a bit to do the right thing, in a bit to ensure that it does what it is convinced will serve the interests of the people and improve their lives. So the government are taking those steps in those countries. And by the way, in spite of that, the figures are still rising, and that's the fact, that's the truth. Of course, we can expect it to come down or start to come down at some point, but steps are still being taken right now to protect people because figures are still rising. And Nigeria is not immune to that situation, by the way. The figures rising, that is. For example, Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, says 1 in every 5 persons tested in Nigeria within the passing week turned out positive. Now, speaking at the daily briefing on Monday, he said testing has proven to have become more significant in the nation's response. Mustafa also assured Nigerians that the PTF will ensure that the vaccines to be approved will be safe and effective. Nigeria recorded, I think yesterday, more COVID-19 cases. 1,670 new cases were reported by the NCDC. Lagos got 776, Kaduna 147, Kwara 131, FCT 102, Plateau 78, Edo 59, Ogun 53, Osun 45, Rivers 37, Taraba 36, Nasarawa 34, Adamawa 33, Kano 26, Delta 20, Ebonyi 16, Bayelsa 11, Gombe 11, Borno 2. The figures are rising. Now, we've got a situation on our hands. What steps the government needs to be taken to address this? I mean, there are varying options available to government. I imagine that most Nigerians, maybe even the government as well, are dreading a lockdown. I hope we don't get there. But once again, if government is convinced we have to do that, they may have no choice. But one thing is quite disturbing right now. Whatever options that, whatever options government decides to go with eventually, one really confounding situation right now is how the Nigerian government itself is organizing super spreader or COVID-19 super spreader events. I mean, that is one thing I'm struggling to deal with. So we don't have infrastructure to deal with this. Our medical system is, it is what it is. We don't have the resources under the rich nations to buy up of vaccine doses. We don't have all things, but at least we can organize ourselves to ensure that we don't organize events on a mass scale where COVID-19 is just being dished out to people, kind of like per second billing. And one such event, by the way, sanctioned by the government, is the NRN registration situation, which once again completely confounds me. The federal government's Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 daily tells Nigerians the figures are rising, stay safe, protect yourselves, wear your masks, wash your hands, social distancing, physical distancing, let's be responsible, let's be this, we're working, I think just recently, I read that as well, I think I read it earlier today, the government released some 10 billion naira to fund something about COVID-19 vaccines or something of that nature. So the government keeps coming out with information of what they're doing, what steps they're taking, and urging Nigerians to be responsible as far as protecting themselves are concerned. But when you go to these centers, the same government, by the way, is the one that's insisted that there's a deadline for Nigerians to register for their NIN and link them with their SIM cards. And the various centers across the country where these registrations are taking place is nothing but a super spreader event. That's what they are. There is no nice way to put it. There is no subtle way to express it. Those centers are literally COVID-19 super spreader centers. That's what they are. People might be registering for NIN there, but there's no doubt they're also sharing COVID-19 at those places. A government that claims to be responsible, a government that suggests that it is doing all that it can to ensure that it's able to keep Nigerians safe, ensure that we're able to beat COVID-19, the pandemic, and still, and is deliberately, well, I mean, that's what it is. I'm not suggesting that was the intent to get more Nigerians infected, but the NIN registration is deliberate. I mean, it was not a mistake. The government said, go do this, and they even give a deadline with it as well. And it's amazing the government cannot claim to not know. The other day, the minister, I think, of State for Health, was interviewed on TV, and he said that he was shocked at the images that he was seeing, and they're talking with relevant ministries and agencies of government to suspend the registration right now because those events, those places are simply spots for spreading COVID-19. And yet, for some reason I cannot fathom right now, government is obstinate, government is insistent that this must go on. It's quite the irony indeed. Oh, figures are rising. Oh, we have 1,000 today. Oh, we recorded 1,005 yesterday. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're going to get vaccines. Oh, Nigerians, stay safe. Oh, be responsible. And then you tell the same people, gather at these places in your hundreds, in your thousands. We don't care. Get registered. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. And the worst part of it is we still don't have the infrastructure or the resources to deal with a situation of this magnitude. So we don't have the health infrastructure, we don't have the resources. We can at least organize ourselves, or at least government can ensure that it doesn't set up events like this where people are just going to be sharing the COVID-19 virus. So I hope that government is going to rethink, the federal government that is going to rethink its steps, is going to be responsible, is going to do the right thing. And whilst certain measures may not be suitable or convenient to be taken right now, at least the government should not be seen, should not be the one that's also contributing to the super spreading or mass spreading of COVID-19 in the country. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. Hope I didn't bore you. Any thoughts of mine? Let's hear it. Lines are open. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007, and 0817 923 0009. We're possibly live on Twitter. I don't know these days. At Nigeria Info PH. It's facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH as well. Possibly also YouTube. Nigeria Info PH. Keep it brief, concise, straight to the point, and once the call is answered, please turn down the volume of your radio set. Hello, hard fact to welcome. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Or good evening.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yes. I want to comment on the no registration. This is very hypocritical. You cannot be speaking from both sides of your mouth. Nigerian government is crying that the rate of the infections is increasing by the day. The same government is making it mandatory for people to cluster at different centers and registration. This is hypocritical. It's very unfortunate. I don't know where we are heading in this country. The government is not serious. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, 913.
Hello, Dayo.
Hi there.
Dayo, as long as I'm concerned, this government has not done anything to show me that they believe that there is COVID-19. Dayo, because the more they keep on talking about it, talk about the PTF, when they gather every day, they collect the allowances, they tell me and you whatever we want to hear about COVID-19, but in actual actions, in showing me that there is COVID-19 by their actions, they have not shown me anything for me to believe them. So there is something they know that I don't know. That is why people like us that have been standing on the fence about this COVID-19, government is helping us. Because I was in Abaro yesterday, what I saw, Tayo, and a lot of people, a lot of prominent Nigerians have been saying things about why not Nigeria stop this? It's not important now. It's not too urgent. It doesn't mean that the government is not listening. Doesn't mean that they're not hearing. I tell you and I repeat, there is what government know about COVID-19 that we don't know.
Good to hear. hear from you, but one thing is a fact. Thanks to that caller, by the way, but one thing is a fact, COVID-19 is real, irrespective of how the Nigerian government acts, irrespective of how many fences the last caller or others like himself may be standing on. COVID-19 is real, so do please hashtag stay safe. Hello, hard fact to welcome.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, good day, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Dayo. See, Dayo, is our goals and aspiration as Nigeria as a state has failed. You know, why I say that is that our laws are not obeyed. Okay? No proper planning in going about the issues that concern the country or the nation at large. You know, they will just come up, you know, enter their say what you want to say, or they just do after all, they jump out. Your money you have gone, your own tenure is over, and the Nigeria still continue around us. There is nobody that are coming to this anywhere to fix things the proper way, to do things the right way, as to benefit the Nigeria they are serving. No. So what are we saying? Nothing will work. They are just there to just jump in, and, you know, take their money and say what they want to do. After all, they will jump out, they will shout APC here, they will shout PDP there, and nothing is happening. It's a failed state. I tell you the truth, Tayo. I tell you a line of that's just the truth.
Hello, 913.
Hello, Dayo. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yeah, what you are saying, the government wants to reduce the population of Nigeria. If they can, by this time, ask people to crowd at the same place to register. In fact, if you see what is happening at Ishodo, in fact, the crowd is so much. They are not spreading that this COVID-19. If government will start this by this time, no, this thing is rising. They just want to reduce the population of Nigeria.
Why would they want to do that?
You can see what is happening all over the country. Look at the crowd in Lagos. I was watching the other day at the TVC News. Seeing how people are dying in Lagos. Look at there's no bed. Airport sending the oxygen cylinders to save people is so much. Why should government do this by this time?
Oh, it is quite disconcerting indeed. Let's see. Via Facebook, Kester Golden goes, when it comes to politics, COVID-19 is never relevant. After then, the virus will become more powerful. Bebesin Stephen goes, I saw NTDC vehicle this morning, more than 10 persons without wearing a face mask, neither social distancing. And Dennis Egbe agrees that government is organizing COVID-19 super spreader events. Dennis Egbe goes, agreed through NIN. You can also join via Twitter at Nigerian for PH. Jeffenfield tweets, let's see. Gonna die. I saw a video of people queuing, grabbing, and climbing each other at an NIMC center in Lagos. I was so angry. Got me thinking, if as educated and exposed as I am, I battle with myself to believe that COVID is real, how much more the uneducated people in rural places who are yet to get enough awareness about this COVID as people in the city do. Yet our government is busy doing that to which majority might think the COVID isn't real. Thank you. Newton Amaldi goes, good day. I'm a member of... okay. I'm going to read this. It has to do with one of my side comments, but I'm going to read it anyways. It goes, good day. I'm a member of the River State COVID-19 Task Force, and we did not collect. Not all of us were posted to the borders. Some were posted to the street, hotels, schools, beers, bars, and restaurants and markets. Please, Governor Wike should pay us our 8 months' salary. All right, Newton. All right. Hello, 913, welcome.
Yeah, hello, Dayo. Good evening.
Good day, go ahead.
It's Richard from Bolu.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there is no better way to describe what Nigerian government is doing than being deliberate about this whole thing. Something is definitely going on somewhere that they are not telling us. Could you imagine that whoever that's in charge of me said whatever the network operators are doing by linking numbers is not valid until people must come physically in their which office are they talking about? The one that I asked you on Sunday. The same thing children, they don't want to go to lockdown for 3 months in school. Are their parents not the same people going for noon and carrying the disease home? What are we talking about in this country? Something is going on. Somebody knows something that we, the masses of Nigeria, that over how many people are using network in Nigeria, and they're doing nothing about it. But no problem, we are watching them. Thank you.
Okay, most of our Twitter at Uche Bobs one Twitter died. This is insensitive of the government. COVID-19 is real, very real. And the NIN centers are super spreading centers. The government wants to block my line. Let them block it. I'm not going there. Hello? Good afternoon, you're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother.
Go ahead.
This is your NIN station, eh? I think it doesn't make sense. It's not resonating. How come every time we are listening something, one thing or the other, at the end of the day, we'll come to do the same thing again? When we purchase this line, they have our data. Why can't they take it from those network companies? You know?
Yeah, go on.
So why are they telling us again? Now we're talking about coronavirus and the second wave. We're not packing people together to come and contact the coronavirus or what? Nigeria system is failing. The leaders at the head are not behaving like us, who are the citizens. Even up to 50%. If they are, they'll go to that place today. Thank you.
Oh, okay. A few comments via WhatsApp to wrap up this segment. At the wake of the second wave of the COVID-19, the federal government ordered Nigerians to link their name to SIMs. Federal government ordered for resumption of schools. Governors keep commissioning projects amidst crowds, yet they are daily announcing high numbers of the COVID victims. Who is feeling who? Governor Yaya Bello should keep telling them the hard truth they don't want to hear. That's from John Peters. Let's see. Is it not obvious that we're being led by a group of people who don't know what they're doing? Onyebuchi from About Santadine. Good afternoon, Dan. This is why many Nigerians still think COVID-19 is a scam. A government crying so much against the spread of the virus is the same government saying the NIN registration exercise must continue. It seems the government wants to deliberately infect the people to achieve their hidden plan. Nigeria is such a failed country. It's Dafe who sent that in. Government will rebrand the Pfizer vaccine and claim it from Nigeria. Why are they carrying out research now, and why release 10 billion naira now? Good evening. Dio Paul from Port Harcourt says, I like life, not concerned about what government people are doing. I care about me. I don't have my NIN, but I'm not going into the crowd to be another statistic. Let them cut off my lines for all I care. I have to wrap this up right now. Once again, it's very, very disturbing. And the narrative is just quite confusing and quite ironic as well. In those countries where the infrastructure is there, medical facilities are top-notch, they've got the money, they've got the vaccines, they are taking precautions. Some countries are still in a lockdown right now. Schools are closed. And yet in Nigeria, we don't even come close in terms of infrastructure, in terms of facilities, in terms of resources. And then you ask people to go gather in large numbers and insist that they must register. And then you ask schools to reopen, and then you're doing all of these things. What's the point here? Those NIMC office or NIN registration centers have simply put COVID-19 super spreader centers. That's what they are. The government is aware, cannot claim ignorance. And yet it goes on. Anyways, we got business news coming on top of the hour at about 4 p.m. After which we'll be discussing the Real Madrid Football Academy in Rivers State is set to be receiving entrance or begins admissions already. Special advisor to the governor of Real Madrid Academy, Chris Green joins me for the conversation. What the long-term plans are for that facility. Do please stay tuned.